quarters worth $9.50. If he has 50 coins in all, how many dimes and how many quarters does he have? As soon as we see a coin problem like this, there's a little bit of implied information that's not in the question, and that's how much are dimes worth and how much are quarters worth. We need to know that because we're going to set up a table to get our total value. So what do we need? Well, we need to know how many dimes there are. We'll need to know how many quarters there are. We don't know either of those things. We're going to set one of these equal to x. I try to always set the one that has the nastier value to x, so I'm going to set quarters to x. We'll see why in a bit. Now, dimes, then, how many dimes are there? If there's 50 coins in total, and we have x quarters, in order to make a total of 50 coins, it must be 50 take away x. We can see if we added those together, 50 take away x plus x would give us 50. So that is how many dimes we have as an expression. Now we want to look at the value of those coins, though. This was just the number of coins we have. The value of the coins is something that's not told to us in the question, but we know that a single dime is worth 10 cents. And then a single quarter is worth 25 cents. But we want the value of all of the quarters and all of the dimes. I'm going to show us quarters first because it's a little easier. The value of all the quarters, when there are x quarters, is 25 cents times the number of quarters, which is x, or 25x. Do note here I put 25x, not 0.25x. I am working in cents rather than dollars and cents, just so that I don't have to deal with decimals all throughout my question. Now, it's a little bit trickier to figure out the value of the dimes, because it's 10 times the amount of dimes. But how many dimes are there? 50 minus x. So I have to do 10 times that whole expression, which is a binomial. So we are going to have to use distributive property here eventually. But that's okay. And I did pick the nicer number. I picked dimes having 10. 10 is easy to multiply by. So it'll give us less of a hassle. We should then be able to work out the total value. The question tells us it's 950 cents. $9.50 is 950 cents. So what can I do then? How would I get that 950? I would add the value of the dimes and the value of the quarters. And that would give me 950. So let's just write that out nicely. 10 times 50 minus x plus 25x gives me 950 cents. And now this is the kind of equation that we should be able to solve. I can distribute here and get 500 minus 10x plus 25x equals 950. I can simplify my x's and say I have 500 plus 15x equals 950. I can subtract 500 from both sides. X is 450. And by dividing by my numerical coefficient of 15, and I get x is equal to 30. This is a solution to the equation, but is not the answer to the question. When I say that x equals 30, I have to go back up to my table and see what is x actually telling me. Well, that is the number of quarters. So that is half my answer. But the question asks me how many dimes and how many quarters. So to figure out the number of dimes, I'm plugging that value of 30 into x here. And 50, take away 30, gives me 20 dimes. So the answer of my question is, I have 20 dimes and 30 quarters.